Cash flow is oxygen to your business. Maybe I don't need to tell you this, but just like you need to take your next breath and your next breath and your next breath to survive, your business needs cash flow to survive. And so today I'm going to share with you 5 fairly simple cash flow secrets. These are just things that you can pay attention to at different places in your business in order to make sure that you have consistent cash flow. And I'm going to target this more at digital marketers, but it can really apply to any business. The question always with any of these lessons that I might share with you is not can this apply, but how can this apply? So instead of this trying to come up with, can this apply, can this not apply, yes or no, think, how can I adapt this to my specific situation, my specific business, my specific customer base, and use the fundamental principle and strategy of this in order to, in this case, generate maximum cash flow. And don't forget, if you want more content like this, let me know. Also, make sure that while this intro plays, you hit like and subscribe so that you can get more content like this delivered direct to you.
These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough.
All right, today's sponsor, as always, it's me. Yesterday, I just got another review for one of my best strategic trainings for entrepreneurs, marketers, anybody who is in charge of the strategy of a business, not the implementation of individual campaigns, but in terms of designing the entire business and customer flow and all of that. The training is called the Most Valuable Customer Strategy, the Most Valuable Customer Strategy. And this is about how to maximize customer lifetime value. And Will Reed, one of my longtime BTMSinsiders members, left this 5-star review for it. He called it the most valuable training for customer strategy. And he says, this is the best, most concise yet comprehensive training I've seen for developing and growing a profitable business. Time well spent. This is the best, most concise yet comprehensive training I've seen for developing and growing a profitable business. Time well spent. So if you want to grow a profitable business, if you want to maximize cash flow, customer lifetime value, all of that, check the first link in the description to the Most Valuable Customer Strategy. Now let me share these 5 cash flow secrets, 5 cash flow tips for digital marketers. Number 1, always do this for consistent cash flow. List building, new customer acquisition. You always need to be bringing new customers in the door. And new prospects in the door in order to make sure that you have consistent cash flow. You can only sell to the same people so much. And if you are not committed to growing your audience, growing your list, growing your customer base, what you'll find is that your cash flow starts to dwindle and it can slow to a trickle and eventually go away. It's not because your customers are, just no longer in the market, although that may be true for some of them. In a lot of cases, we are most excited to buy from a particular brand or person or whatever when we are first encountering them. We get excited about this new business or this new brand or this new person that we want to learn from, and that's when we spend the most money with them. And that's just a truth, like across businesses, across industries, etc. It's kind of how humans behave. And since humans are making the buying decisions, it's what's going to happen. And so you need to dedicate yourself to how can we continue to grow our audience? How can we continue to reach out to new people? How can we continue to catch people as they are coming into this market? How can we continue to put ourselves in front of new people within the market, right? And importantly here, it's valuable whether these are prospects or customers. But you can get a lot of people in a market who are not really buyers and who are not going to become buyers. And those are not necessarily the people that you want to focus on. The people that you want to focus on are the people who are willing, let's say ready, willing, and able to spend at least a little bit of money towards whatever products or services you offer. And so it can be helpful in that regard to have something like a welcome mat offer, a low ticket offer that is very easy for someone to purchase as a first purchase with you, that essentially is them raising their hand saying, hey, I'm a buyer in this marketplace. Because once they have spent their first dollar with you and they've had a great customer experience, they are far more likely to come back and do business with you again. And so in terms of the one thing that you always want to be working on for consistent cash flow, that is bringing new people in the door and specifically getting them to spend their first dollar with you. Now, as you're growing this list of customers and prospects, that leads us to number 2, how to create cash flow on demand. You want to be consistently doing some kind of promotion to your audience. And I actually have a training called Fast Cash Flow Email Campaigns that's very consistent to the campaigns, very consistent with the types of campaigns that I run every month to my audience. Basically, you create a specific offer that lasts for a specific length of time, and you run a little promotion to it. You announce it, you justify why it's, this great deal, this great offer, and then you shut the door on it, right? Businesses run these sales all the time for why? Well, what reason? Because they work, right? So design these consistent promotions, and the Fast Cash Flow Email Campaigns gives examples and shows and gives strategy for designing that type of campaign. There's a link in the description to that, by the way. But the whole point is that you need to be running some kind of consistent campaigns or promotions to your audience of prospects and past customers in order to generate this consistent cash flow. The more consistent you are with that, the more important it will become to your overall cash flow generation efforts. Now, I want to tell you about your easiest source of cash flow. That's tip number 3. This is your easiest source of cash flow is your happy past customers. Now, I spoke a little bit to this in tip number 1, secret number 1. I said that once someone has spent that first dollar with you and they've had a good customer experience, they're far more likely to come back and buy more. And so those past customers, if you treat them well, if you make sure that they get what you promised them, if you make sure that their customer experience was excellent, then they will be much more likely to do business with you again. And so the more you can focus on customer satisfaction and customer retention, the easier it will be to generate future cash flow from those customers. And here's the great thing about that. Tip number 1, that was all about bringing new people in the door. That's typically pretty expensive. In fact, a lot of businesses that grow very successfully and effectively and quickly actually lose money on bringing new customers in the door. But because they focus on this, customer satisfaction and retention, they are able to they're able to turn that profitable very quickly, because they know that if they're losing money on acquiring new customers, that allows them to go to maximum, put their advertisements in maximum places, reach out into maximum number of different audiences and media channels, etc. But they can make consistent profits off of the people who have done business with them before. And so making sure that your customers are happy, satisfied, means that they are more likely to respond to number 2, which is those consistent promotions. All right, secret number 4. Again, we have number 1 is make sure you're always bringing new customers and new prospects in the door. Number 2 is make sure you're doing consistent promotions to your list. Number 3 is make sure that your customers are satisfied and that they are happy to come back and spend money with you again. Number 4 is make cash flow show up every month. Make cash flow show up every month. You want to create some source of automatic income. And this is typically going to come from some kind of continuity or subscription program. And I think that a lot of people, it's very easy if you're not in, say, the information. Like it's easy in the information business to be like, okay, well, we're going to deliver more information every month, and that's the subscription that you're signing up for, right? And that can feel easy and automatic, and that's great. Or if you're in the membership business, like if there's some kind of membership component, access to specific benefits that come from being a member, that can be an easy way to justify continuity or subscription in your business. But let's say you have a completely different type of business, such as a pizza restaurant. Well, if you're running your pizza restaurant, you might assume, okay, I can't do subscription pizza, right? Maybe I could do pizza of the month delivered here, but that doesn't feel quite right, especially for like a local, people want to go to the pizza restaurant and get their pizzas. Well, you could have like a gold members club or a 5-star members club or platinum club or something like that, right? And let's say you get the agreement to automatically charge someone's credit card $39 a month. Let's just say $39.99 a month. Just making up a number. But for $39.99 a month, they are going to get a guaranteed, let's say $59.99 a month in coupons. And not coupons, but actual like spendable money at the restaurant. So it could be free pizzas, and essentially what you're doing is you're giving them a reduced price access to menu items in exchange for some kind of subscription agreement, continuity agreement. So you just have to be creative with this, right? So you could be a digital marketer of pizzas and advertise locally that you have this new club started up, and if people pay $39.99 a month, you're going to deliver this much, and there's going to be exclusive member events, et cetera, et cetera. The whole point being, just be creative with this. Find a way to deliver value on an ongoing basis, if at all possible, in a continuity or subscription model, so you can make that cash flow show up every month. All right, tip number 5, secret number 5, an untapped cash flow goldmine. I sometimes have fun with these notes. Basically, most of us underestimate our best customers' willingness to spend. And so inside any business, maybe the vast majority, maybe 95% or more of your customers are kind of capped out at some spending level. Now, this is going to vary quite a bit based on the business itself, but if your customers are, the vast majority of them spend between $100 and $500 a year, and there's some segment of them that spends regularly maybe $2,000 a year or $5,000 per year for slightly higher ticket items, there may be some segment of your customer list who want a total VIP day treatment, etc. That is something like what do I say? Like they're willing to spend $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, $50,000 for whatever that VIP day is, or who knows, right? The whole point is that inside any audience, well, my friend Perry Marshall wrote this book, 80-20 Sales and Marketing, and he talks about the 80-20 power curve, and that 20% of any audience is responsible for 80% of the results, and it's about resource distribution and distribution of effects. And one of the important points that was made is if you analyze this, 20% of the 20%, which is 4%, is responsible for 80% of the 80%, which is like 64%. And the exact numbers don't matter necessarily. But what that's saying is 4% of your customer base is responsible for 64% of your revenue if you give them, or of your profits, if you give them the opportunity to do so. And then even inside that 4%, you have a 0.8% that's responsible for something like 50% of your profits if you give them the opportunity to be so. So you need to consider, in terms of generating cash flow, If I was able to create a total VIP experience for my best customers and the people who have basically an unlimited readiness, willingness, and ableness to spend, what would that VIP experience look like? How could I offer it? How could I put it in front of them? How could I identify those customers within my audience? And if I'm able to do that, and if I'm able to fulfill on that, how can I use that on a consistent basis to maximize my cash flow? And so this idea of customer ascension up to extreme VIP status is a powerful way to increase your cash flow. So again, always be building your list of prospects and customers. Do consistent promotion to that list with things like the fast cash flow email campaigns, which you can find a link to in the description. Remember to make sure that fulfilling on your promises and making sure your customers are satisfied is going to keep them around and spending more. Do what you can to create some kind of continuity or subscription component to your business in order to increase that consistent money showing up every month, and find ways for your best customers to spend more by providing some kind of VIP experience. Now, this is all kind of just scratching the surface of what you'll find in the most valuable customer strategy, which I shared Will's testimonial of that. You can check that out in the link in the description. And there's also the link in the fast cash flow email campaigns in the description. Both of those are part of the BTMS Insiders training library, which is like Netflix for copywriting and marketing training. Pay one low monthly fee, get instant streaming access to everything. It's all there. Check the links in the description. I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. And hey, I'll be back tomorrow with more valuable content. Remember to like and subscribe so you get it.
Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.